Hey guys, this is MentorShelly coming to you. Been wanting to really just introduce to you guys why I decided to actually create the MentorShelly brand and to create the MentorShelly baby, which is what I call it right now. That's not the only baby I have at this moment. Of course, I never know what the future holds. Anyway, why I decided to create this. Well, let me start with who I am. I'm an HR professional. I have over 15 years of human resources experience in the areas of benefits, client relations, payroll administration, and different things along the way. Now I'm kind of mixing with the two now in the areas of insurance when it comes to property insurance and things of that nature. But I also want to address the fact that yes, I have this experience and I've been through a lot of different things professionally as far as what works, what doesn't, what people are looking for, and you guys are actually going to be able to benefit from my experience. But before all of that came into place, I can remember being a very shy, very reserved, very fearful, chubby teenager in high school and in college, all because I was living by other people's opinions. I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started college, which was a long time ago, I don't want to share numbers, but I started college with a major based on what my mom thought was a great idea. Which, I mean, I liked the field too, but it wasn't something that I had passion for per se. So, after 2.5 years of going to school on the bill of financial aid, I figured out that the medical field was really not for me. I was going to school for physical therapy. Yeah, I did all those science classes, and they're great edification now. It helps me in understanding how my health is affected. However, for what I do now and for where I have my expertise in, it didn't really come into play. I just kind of did that pretty much because my mom thought it was a great idea. Never feeling brave enough or, to be my authentic self, especially on a professional side, because of course there are things that you learn and there are things that you end up going through, which is a friend of mine used a phrase called baptized by fire. You kind of jump in feet first, not knowing how deep you'll actually go. You think it's 3 feet when it's 20. So you're actually going to be able to benefit from all of my misfortune. So more than anything that I can tell you is that you have to be yourself, even in the areas of finding the right career and finding what suits you and finding what your passion is. You have to be you. And for a long time, even though, yes, I was going to school and I'm working with these different corporations, if you don't believe in you and if you don't know who you are, you'll be taken advantage of. And in more ways than one. I had to I actually went through several interviews at this particular company. I was there for about 5.5 years. Went through different positions trying to feel out what areas of business I liked. Because at the time I wasn't even in school, I was just working a job. And, the payroll area started to appeal to me, and then case management started to appeal to me, and then human resources started to appeal to me because I was going to different roles where I was touching on pieces of those areas. And I finally found something I could say, okay, well, this involves people. I like helping people. That's a part of who I am. Of course, there's a lot of self-discovery going on here at this point. And I realized that because I never went into a lot of these interviews with a whole lot of confidence, I was more nervous than anything. I had no idea that, you go in, you ask questions. I was one of those people that didn't ask questions in interviews because of my human resources experience now. I will tell you that is one of the worst things you can do. You discount yourself as a person and as a professional when you don't ask questions, especially when you don't ask the right questions. This is what a lack of confidence and a lack of knowing, lack of knowledge, really. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. This is what a lack of knowledge can cost you. I had moved from one position to the next in this particular company. And my manager, which I bless her to this day, she looked at my pay grade in the payroll department and looked at other people's pay grade and said, something is wrong here. How come you came into this department, you got a promotion, but your pay grade is lower than everybody else's? That turned on the light switch in my head. I was settling for less. I didn't have to. Thankfully, I had a manager at the time that was looking out for her people so much that she gave me a pay raise to measure up with the rest of the team. That was a part of the light bulb. That was a turning point for me. There was other milestones that led me to this point, but I want to share this. Everything happens for a life purpose, and although some of those things are misfortunes, you can make the best out of bad situations, all in how you choose to deal with them. And in that moment, I understood that, wait a minute, why, how do you do that? And I started doing research to figure out, oh, people actually negotiate salaries. If you keep in mind, I was a young adult. I never had any kind of career coaching or anything. A lot of what I learned is being in the human resources field. And I had an awesome professor in college that was not just teaching us the rudimentaries of what's in the book, but also showed us, okay, this is how you set yourself up. These are the things that you do, and showed us practical ways on how to carry out what we learned in HR, not just for the companies that we work for, but for ourselves as well. So she was a very practical teacher. I also developed professionally and personally because when you're in a particular mindset, a mindset that has been so ingrained that you're not enough or you're deficient in some way, shape, or form, and you know that's not the mindset of success, you look for help. And sometimes you may not believe the same way I do, but sometimes God Almighty puts people in your path and you have no idea what doors they open within you in order for you to be better. And I sat down with a life coach. Yeah, sometimes people you need help. And sometimes you have to kick pride to the side. And when you need help, you get help. I got help from a very reputable life coach. I'm going to mention her name, and she's not, I don't know if she really understands what kind of effect she had on my life, Dr. D.R.E.A.M. And I had a few sessions with her. That was my turning point. I was going through a lot professionally at the time. I had just gotten let go from my job. And it hurt because it was the first job out of coming out of graduating with my human resources degree. And I didn't understand, well, what happened? Why? I tried so hard and they didn't think I was enough, and I really took it personally. I took it as a personal hit as well as a professional hit. And I knew that I was not in a great place mentally at the time. And sitting down with that life coach helped me to clear up something, helped me to understand that my true purpose is not to be the batting cage for corporations. My true purpose became clear when I worked with Dr. Daly. And I'm very grateful for that because through that process, I gave myself permission to truly succeed. Gave myself permission to live not just because I've been gifted with the breath of life, but to live in my true purpose. And I learned what my true purpose was by working with her. She's been very instrumental in my turning point in my professional life as well, not just personally, but professionally. And just like how she stretched out her hand and pulled me up, I want to be able to help those that are going through, not necessarily career suicide, but going through career transition. For those of you that went through some of the things I did, went into the workforce not knowing the first thing to do on an interview, not knowing the first thing to do as far as resumes, you kind of go online and you find it's a little bit easier now, because there's thankfully Google and YouTube and Bing.com that you can find resources. But I say all of that to say this. Is it easier for you to walk into a tunnel blindly with blindfolders on, or is it easier to walk into a dark tunnel with 5 flashlights going in the direction of where you're walking? If there's some stumbling blocks, that could steer you in the right way so you don't have to go through some of the madness I went through. That's what I'm here to do, because MentorShelly was created because somebody invested the time in me, so I want to invest the time in you so you can become your authentic self professionally. And I'm here to take your journey with you for you to find out exactly who and what you are going to be or what you are professionally. If you already know, great, and we can help to fine tune that and point you in the right direction to be able to market yourself correct, well, online and offline. Well, MentorShelly Enterprises was created, as you can clearly tell, out of some very precarious places. Some of them difficult, but all of them great learning experience. So you can have the benefit of my experience, so you don't have to go through some of the stuff that I went through. I want you to understand that being your authentic self in the professional environment is the best thing you can be, because nobody can be you quite like you. And even in your profession, even in your career, I want you to be a better version of yourself. This is MentorShelly signing off, and you can connect with me on different social networks. The links will be below for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. And if you want to work with me closely to schedule a strategy session, please feel free to do so at the link below. I just want you guys to know, listen, I understand. When it comes to the job market, I've been through it. I want you to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm there with you to turn on all 5 flashlights. You guys have a good one.